Hello and welcome. My name is Mariah Harvey, and today I'm going to talk to you about direct democracy in Arizona. We are going to focus on two key tools, that is initiative and referendum. These processes give the direct voice to the citizens when it comes to shaping laws and policies. Let us dive in. We're going to start with definitions. For those of you who don't know, an initiative allows citizens to draft a proposed new law or constitutional amendment. If it meets all of the requirements, it can then be placed on a ballot for the public to vote on it. A referendum, on the other hand, lets the voters approve or reject laws passed by the legislature. Voters can get a final say after collecting signatures to place recently passed laws onto a ballot. Both of these are powerful tools in direct democracy and are written into Arizona's Constitution. Let's take a look at how these are created and how the process works for each. We'll start with initiative again, and that is, like I said, when a citizens draft a proposed law or constitutional amendment. Then they need to get a petition and collect enough signatures to get this change onto a ballot. Then they will file it with the Secretary of State, where it must then be verified. Once it's verified, it can officially be added to the ballot. Then the voters can vote. For a referendum, citizens must start the petition to gather signatures within 90 days or about 3 months of a law's passage. That is the only way they can challenge it. The requirement is that 5% of voters in the last election are on that petition. If successful, the law is put on hold and voted on by the public. If the majority of the voters approve, then the law is rejected and will not take effect. So we're going to look a little bit into what initiatives do versus referendums a little bit more. We're going to compare them a bit. Initiatives are used to propose a new law, where the referendum are used to approve or reject existing laws. Initiatives can be started at any time, but a referendum has a strict 90-day window. Both of these tools give direct say in government and are essential in Arizona's democratic process. Initiatives and referendums require a number of signatures by registered voters. A petition for initiative requires more signatures than a referendum, though. The time frame for each is different. Initiatives, again, can be started at any time, but those referendums must fall within that 90-day time frame in order to be active and to be voted on. And again, they both end with a public vote. There are some pros and cons of both initiatives and referendums, so let's take a look at those. Initiatives empower citizens by letting them bypass legislative gridlock. They can be influenced by special interests, and they can also oversimplify complex issues. It can also be very costly and time-consuming to start an initiative because you have to collect a large number of signatures. It can also be influenced by special interest groups that have resources to fund their campaigns. A referendum functions as a check on the legislative power and encourages public engagement, but the short timeline can challenge and delay needed laws. Referendums can also encourage the legislature to consider the public's opinion more. They can carefully look into the public and what their opinions are. There is a chance of creating an uncertainty for laws passed by legislature. They are also subject to special interest groups and influence as well. The Arizona Constitution embraces the principles of direct democracy by allowing citizens to have a direct say through the process of referendums and initiatives. These tools are enshrined in Arizona's Constitution and reflect the values of the progressive era. They ensure that voters, not just elected officials, have a say in shaping state policies. Legislature is held accountable because voters can challenge and overturn the legislature's decisions. Voters can enact laws that directly reflect their needs and values, and not those of the special interest influences. This is a notable example of direct democracy in action, and why Arizona is known for its citizen-led governance. The ultimate power resides within the citizens, making sure that government must remain responsive to their will. Again, both of these tools are very, very important to the Arizona Constitution. One is a strict time frame, so it might take a lot of effort to get a referendum in and approved. And an initiative, you can take the time you need to get those signatures and all of the paperwork and things in line so that they can get all of the voters that they want to agree or disagree with the laws. And I hope that listening to this has allowed you to gain more information and give you a better understanding and sense of how we can contribute to shaping our own laws. I used the Center of American Civics and a report by Riley on voter initiatives in Arizona to gather my information. There are many more sources you can use, and again, I hope that this has given you a better understanding of what you can do to make a change in your state, especially in Arizona. Thank you and have a great day.